Following up with a few of my previous videos, I want to do a performance test with the iPhone 5 running the GM of iOS 10, which will be available on September 13th, I believe, to everybody. So I do have the GM here installed on an iPhone 5. I kind of wanted to do this test on an iPhone 5 since it'll be the last device that will support iOS 10 and probably a device that'll be widely used through iOS 10. So it just kind of gives you a real world performance of what to expect. On here, I don't want to do a boot thing because it takes too long. So it took about 46, maybe 45 seconds to boot from iOS 10, which is actually pretty good considering some of the iOS 9 and especially the iOS 9 betas were almost up to 60 seconds at 58 seconds. I have that in a few other videos if you want to check that out. So one of the first things I wanted to jump in is see how quickly the animations are reacting. And so far, to me, it seems like Apple's done a pretty good job. You can see a little lag right there. But overall, things pop up. Actually, the control center to me seems a little quicker in iOS 10 than it was in iOS 9. Opening applications, as you can see there, the animations seem nice and smooth. They're not choppy or anything that you would see usually in a beta. So very welcome in that sort of way. The next thing I wanted to do was check out how apps launch. So I want to open up a couple apps here. You've seen a few in the switcher, but we're going to jump in, open up some applications. And as you can see here, it's actually not too bad. I'm in a good Wi-Fi zone, so should load up pretty quickly. With the App Store being a big app, this is a pretty good example of what to expect. Jumping into our camera here. So not too bad. Switching from video. The focus, if we can see, seems to react pretty quickly. So there's a little lag on that last one there. Then jumping into photos. Super Mario. So as you can see here, it's not too bad in just real world performance, opening and closing, jumping through applications that are already open. Seem to be pretty smooth. Some apps won't open like instantly right on. That obviously had to kick in the location services. So I would say overall applications seem to open pretty good. Third-party apps may work better once they're updated, but and YouTube, they're taking its sweet time. Again, for translations. So that just kind of gives you guys an example of opening up different apps on iOS 10. It seems pretty smooth, jumping back and forth into each application. It's pretty quick, and I'm fairly impressed with how Apple did that there. So I would expect this to be a welcomed improvement, especially this being the iPhone 5. So the next thing I was going to do is a speed test. So we will check out Wi-Fi speeds because in iOS 8 it was pretty crazy. To eliminate everything here, even though it shouldn't make a difference, we'll just kill all the applications running and open up speed test. Now we should theoretically get as fast as it can go. The iPhone 5, I believe, can get up to 100 megabits. Should be a gigabit. So I did have some other results here. They were a little better, but I find the antenna in the latest iPhones and soon the iPhone 7 are just amazing. If you have wireless AC, it is really fast and you get your full download speed. But that seems actually pretty average for this device. So quite happy with that. Although I'm more happy with that. So yeah, I would say there's no Wi-Fi issues, speed issues. It seems to be pretty good. I'm on the second level of my house, and my Wi-Fi router's on the main level, and I don't have a booster up here right now, so that's actually not too bad. And then the last thing I wanted to do was run a good old Geekbench because scores always mean something to nerds and people like me. I like to see how it performs in its real world. So we're going to use Geekbench 4, which is Geekbench's latest release here. And as you can see here, we're on the iPhone 5, iOS 10.0.1, and we have the A6 chip. There's nothing open and running here, so we'll begin. I will speed this up because I mean, if you guys want to watch, I believe it can take up to 8 to 10 minutes because this performance here is like 2 to 20 minutes, so I won't make you bear through that. Alright, so we're back after the Geekbench here, and as you can see, the single core score is actually not too bad. 759, I believe the average is 719, and then the multi-core score did not that bad as well. So, I mean, this isn't a very fast device. It is Apple's only 32-bit iPhone left for the iOS 10, but did pretty good. To show average scores across other devices here, I just loaded up on Geekbench's website. So as you can see, the iPhone 5C usually sits at like 119, and iPhone 5s are usually testing around 730. So we actually got a little better than the average scores there, and quite, as you can see here, as you go up, some of the higher scores of the other devices. So anyways, guys, my overall experience using the iPhone 5 on an iOS 10 betas all the way to the GM, is it worth the upgrade? Yes, definitely. Unless you're on an old firmware that was jailbreakable, I would definitely jump on the iOS 10. It's going to give you some new features. Sadly, not all the new features that everybody gets with the newer devices, but you will really like the change, and the feel, the apps that come with it are just so much better. So I definitely would give a shout out to that. One more thing, you can delete a lot of your stock applications, which I know a lot of you really want to be able to do, so it also is definitely worth the upgrade for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like this video, stick around for the channel for more videos on the iPhone 5 as it progresses through iOS 10, and we'll see you guys again next time.